Hello everyone. Here I Komal Sharma welcomes you all at our Gargi classes. Today I'm going to discuss the last but not the least at all, the poem which is given into our syllabus of UPSC Mains English Optional. So the poem which I am going to recite for you all for the aspirants of UPSC Mains. So the poem is The Relic. The Relic, which is written by John Donne. So this poem is the last poem all into our syllabus, the poems which are given into our syllabus. Among them, The Relic is the last one. The earlier poems I have already discussed in my earlier videos. मैंने अपने earlier videos में already जो भी poems है which are written by John Donne और जो कि अपने syllabus में prescribed है, वो सारी मैंने detail out कर दी है for hold the query for hold your information. You may just go to the playlist of our channel और वहाँ पे जितने भी videos are relevant to John Donne's poems आप वो वहाँ पे देख सकते हैं easily. Alright then, so Relic is all like other poems of John Donne, as I have mentioned when I introduced John Donne as a metaphysical poet. So this particular poem is also a metaphysical poem. Alright. So this particular poem, which is written by John Donne, is not just important for the UPSC Mains English Optional. The poem is all quite important for all those exams, specifically which are relevant to English literature. All right then. So today I am going to discuss all about the basic text of the poem. I am going to recite the text of the poetry particularly, and I'll discuss the explanation, or I will detail out each line in very particular manner or in detailed manner. All right then. So here I'm moving over the poem The Relic, which is written by the metaphysical poet John Donne. All right then. So here we have our poetry. The Relic. So this is the first stanza of the poem. When my grave is broke up again. When my grave is broke up again, some second guest to entertain. For graves have learned that woman had to be to more than one abad. And he that digs it spies a bracelet of bright hair about the bone. Will he not let us learn and think that there a loving couple lies? Who thought that this device might be some way to make their souls at the last busy day meet at this grave and make a little stay. So this is the first stanza of 11 lines of the poem The Relic, which is written by John Donne. Second stanza we have, if this fall in a time or land where Miss Devotion doth command, then he that digs us up will bring us to the bishop and the king to make us relics. Then thou shalt be a Mary Magdalene, and I a something else thereby. All women shall adore us, and a man, and since at such time miracles are sought, I would have that age by this paper taught what miracles we harmless lovers wrought. So this is the second stanza of 11 lines of the poem The Relic by John Donne. Now we have the third stanza here. First we loved well and faithfully, yet know not what we loved nor why. Difference of sex no more we knew than our guardian angels do. Coming and going, we perchance might kiss, but not between those meals. Our hands never touched the seals which nature, injured by late law, sets free. These miracles we did, but now, alas, all measures and all language I should pass. Should I tell what a miracle she was? So, this is the third stanza of the poem, The Relic by John Donne. So, here we have the poem of 3 stanzas, and each stanza contain 11 lines each. Alright then. So first of all, I am going to summarize this particular poem. I would like to introduce the particular poem so that it would be easier for you to understand the line by explanation of the poem. All right then. So basically the poem, just listen carefully and note down while I'll be reciting. The Relic, a poem which is written by John Donne. This poem describes the nature of miracles. As you also have come to know while I was reciting the poem, there came the word miracle many a times, more than 2 or 3 times. And the spiritual love that exists between the speaker and his lover. All right. So the poem begins with the speaker proposing a future in which his remains, whatever the remains will be there in future, alongside all those remains, a bracelet of hair. All those remains will be interpreted as evidence of a miracle, while he and his beloved will die, and their remains along with the bracelet of hair will be interpreted as a evidence of miracle in the future world. Next, the speaker tells of how men making the discovery take the find to a king or bishop, while somebody will be able to find out our remains. Then the discoverer, whoever discover our remains, will take them, that particular person will take them to king or bishop. The speaker and his lover would then be made into saints to be worshipped by man and woman. Then they both, he and his beloved, will become an idol for the people of future, for man and woman, and they will worship them. The speaker laughs over this possibility. While he is imagining all such things, he alongside laughs over such possibilities. ऑब्वियस है, जब अपन भी ऐसे कोई इमेजिनेशन लेके चलते हैं कि फ्यूचर में ऐसा ऐसा होगा एंड विच इज़ ऑल इल्यूजरी, तो हमें भी कहीं ना कहीं हंसी आती है हमारी इमेजिनेशन पे ऑन अ साइड. तो सेम विद द स्पीकर, वो एक साइड तो इस तरीके की बातें कर रहा है एंड अनदर साइड ही लाफ्स ओवर हिज मेंटालिटी, dismissing these kind of things crafted miracles. और finally वो dismiss करता है कि these kind of miracles can be happen in future. He then turns instead of the nature of their relationship as real example of a miracle. Later on, whatever the love between he and his beloved, he sets an example, he sets a miracle through their love. All right. They loved one another, mostly from afar. They loved each other. They never touched each other except they kisses many more than 2 or 3 times. While the speaker might want more to happen between them, he understands the importance of their spiritual connection. Though they both are spiritually connected with each other, so it's quite not important for them to connect physically. But on another side, he wants that physical intimacy with his beloved. So this is all about the summary, all about the basic information or introduction of the poem The Relic, which is written by John Donne. तो आपको समझ में आ गया होगा इसमें स्पीकर क्या कहना चाह रहा है, अपने फ्यूचर के बारे में वो सोच रहा है ऑन वन साइड, और फिर हंसता है अपनी ही मेंटालिटी पे, अपनी इल्यूजन्स पे, और फिर वो जो रियलिटी है, अपने रियल जो प्यार है उसके और उसके बिलवड के बीच में, तो उसको भी एक एग्जाम्पल सेट आउट करता है और उसको भी एज ए मिरेकल प्रेजेंट करता है, क्योंकि उन्होंने शायद उनका जो कनेक्शन था ऑल दैट वाज स्पिरिचुअल, वो सिर्फ स्पिरिचुअल था. फिजिकली दे नेवर हैव कम विद ईच अदर, शायद वो फिजिकली एक दूसरे के पास कभी नहीं आया. दैट्स वाई सिर्फ स्पिरिचुअल कनेक्शन होने की वजह से दे आर एबल टू सेट एन एग्जाम्पल और सेट एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ मिरेकल. ऑल राइट देन, सो हियर आई एम गोइंग टू now explain each line of the particular poem The Relic, which is written by John Donne. होप आपको समझ में आ गया होगा कि exactly इस poem का मेन इंटेंशन क्या है. एक सिर्फ illusory poem है, एक जो पॉइंट है जॉन डन अपने फ्यूचर अपने बिलवड के साथ सेट आउट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है और जस्ट एक इल्यूजन क्रिएट कर रहा है और अपने ही इल्यूजन पे हंसता है और बाद में रियलिटी को प्रेजेंट करता है. ऑलराइट देन, so here we have our lines. When my grave is broke up again, some second guess to entertain. For graves have learned that women had to more than one a bed, and he that digs it spies a bracelet of bright hair about the moon. Will he not let us alone, and think that there a loving couple lies, who thought that this device might be some way to make their souls, at the last busy day, meet at this grave and make a little stay. So, in these lines, particularly in the first stanza of this piece of the speaker, who is the lover of the poem, proposes a possible future scenario. It is not one that he particular wants to come to pass, but he is trying to create a situation that he can see happening. He sets the scene by imagining that he takes a piece of hair from his lover. अब इसमें यहाँ पे ये चीज़ दी हुई है ना, दैट अ ब्रासलेट ऑफ ब्राइट हेयर अबाउट द बॉन्ड विल ही नॉट लेट अस अलोन. तो इसमें क्या बोलता है कि मैं फ्यूचर में जब व्हेन आई डाई तो मैं अपनी जो बिलवड है उसका एक हेयर लॉक अपने साथ लेके जाऊँगा एंड आई डाई अलॉन्ग विद दैट हेयर लॉक. और वो जो हेयर लॉक होगा वो मेरे रिस्ट के चारों तरफ रैप्ड अप होगा. ठीक है. He sets the scene by imagining that he takes a piece of a hair from his lover. Before he dies, he winds this around his wrist like a bracelet. As I already mentioned that then he'll just wraps that hair lock around his wrist. The man is buried that way. The man will be buried in that way along with the hair wrapping around the wrist of that particular man. He remains at peace until his grave is broke up again. He will remain at peace until his grave is broke up again. In future, what happen is, after centuries, while the graveyard is all, जो भी graveyard में जो bodies है वो decompose हो जाती है, तो उसी ग्रेव की जगह पे दूसरी ग्रेव ब्रॉकअप कर सकते हैं. तो वो इमेजिन कर रहा है कि जो मेरी ग्रेव है उसको दोबारा से जब ब्रॉकअप किया जाएगा, उसे दोबारा जब डिगअप किया जाएगा, सो दिस वॉट रेफर्स इज टू द डर्ट दैट कवर्स हिम बीइंग डग अप एंड अ सेकेंड गेस्ट और अनदर बॉडी बियरीड देयर. तो वो जो ग्रेव है मेरी उसको डगअप किया जाएगा, डिगअप किया जाएगा किसी और बॉडी को उसमें ब्यरी करने के लिए. सम सेकेंड गेस्ट टू एंटरटेन. उसी ग्रेव में जहाँ पे पॉइंट या फिर जो भी लवर है वो जिसकी बॉडी जहाँ पे ब्यरीड होगी उसी की जगह पे किसी और बॉडी को एंटर करवाया जाएगा. और जब उसको करवाया जाएगा और मेरी ग्रेव को डिगअप किया जाएगा, this particular event is meant to happen sometimes in the far future when his own remains would be mostly decomposed. और ये इंसिडेंट कब होगा? जब उसकी ग्रेव को दोबारा डिगअप किया जाएगा, वो तब होगा जब उसके सारे बॉडी के जितने भी रिमेन्स हैं वो सारे डीकम्पोज हो चुके होंगे. ऑलराइट. फॉर whatever reasons these grave diggers did not expect to find a body. क्योंकि जो भी आगे फ्यूचर में ग्रेव डिगर्स होंगे उनको एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं होंगी कि जिस ग्रेव को वो डिगअप कर रहे हैं या फिर जिस मिट्टी को वो डिगअप कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे कोई ऑलरेडी बॉडी, और वो भी बहुत सेंचुरीज पहले की वो बॉडी वहाँ पे मिलेगी. कोई एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करता. आफ्टर डूइंग सो दे नोटिस द ब्रेसलेट ऑफ ब्राइट हेयर अबाउट द बोन ऑफ हिज रिस्ट. और फाइनली जब वो उसको डिगअप करते हैं तो उसकी जो रिस्ट होती है उस पर वो हेयर का जो लॉक है वो रैप्ड अप होता है उसके रिमेन्स के साथ. ठीक है. तो ऐसा होगा कि वो जो जब भी वो डिगअप करेगा, जब भी कोई भी ग्रेव डिगर ब्रॉकअप करेगा मेरी ग्रेव को अगेन, तो वो मेरे रिमेन्स के साथ, ऑल्दो सारे रिमेन्स तो डिकम्पोज हो चुके होंगे बट जो थोड़े बहुत बचेंगे और जो, लेकिन वो पर्टिकुलर जो हेयर है जो उसकी बिलवड का हेयर है जो मरते टाइम पे वो साथ लेके मरता है, तो उस टाइम पे वो जो हेयर है वो उसके रिस्ट के चारों तरफ होगा और वो ग्रेव डिगर वो ज़रूर देखेगा, जो कि एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है. After doing so, they noticed the bracelet of bright hair about the bone of his wrist. Unlike the rest of the body, it has not decomposed at all. जैसे और बॉडी डिकम्पोज हो चुकी है, पर ये जो रेस्ट हेयर है वो डिकम्पोज नहीं होता है. दिस इज अ टेस्टामेंट टू द रिगार्ड इन विच द स्पीकर होल्ड्स हिज लवर. ये टेस्टामेंट है जिससे कि ये प्रूफ होता है कि अभी तक उस जो लवर और बिलवड हैं वो उस ग्रेवयार्ड में है, उस ग्रेव में है, अभी भी वहाँ पे उनकी दोनों की सोल्स हैं वो एक दूसरे के साथ है. ये इस चीज़ को जस्टिफाई करेगा. शी हैज़ सम काइंड ऑफ otherworldly power that transcends time, or at least this representation of her does. Further, the stanza continues. Here we see the stanza is still continuing and think that a loving couple lies who thought that this device might be some way to make their souls at last busy day meet at this grave and make a little stay. So what does it mean by that? Here the poet or the lover describes the part of this proposed narrative that the speaker finds amusing. Now finally he turns the tone of his imagination in these particular lines, and he says that it is likely he believes that these grave differs will look on the hair around his wrist and make up a story about it. Perhaps they will believe that the man wore this device to make their souls meet at this grave and make a little stay. Now what does he say कि फ्यूचर में ऐसा हो सकता है क्या कि कोई मतलब ग्रेव डिगर होगा और उसको इस तरीके का कोई हेयर लॉक मिलेगा अराउंड समबडीज रिस्ट पे, अगर किसी के रिस्ट पे ऐसा कोई रैपिंग हेयर मिलेगा तो इस तरीके की इमेजिनेशन क्रिएट कर सकता है क्या कि वहाँ पे उन दोनों की सोल्स रिमेन होंगी, वहाँ पे दो लवर्स अभी भी रेस्ट कर रहे होंगे, ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है क्या? So they propose that the hair worked some kind of magic to reunite them. This is a humorous possibility to the speaker, who knows he would never attempt something like this, or nor does he seem to believe it would ever work. The speaker is passing judgment on superstition and crafted magic थिंकिंग. तो उस स्टांजा के थ्रू पहले तो वो अपनी एक इमेजिनेशन क्रिएट करता है, जो लवर है अपनी इमेजिनेशन क्रिएट करता है, स्पीकर वो प्रपोज करता है कि ऐसा फ्यूचर में हो, और बाद में अपनी ही टोन को टर्न कर लेता है और बोलता है ऐसा कभी हो सकता है कि कोई ग्रेव डिगर को इस तरीके की कोई बॉडी मिले डिकम्पोज्ड हुई, सिर्फ हेयर लॉक उसके रिस्ट के चारों तरफ हो, फिर वो एक ऐसी इमेजिनेशन क्रिएट करे कि ये जो हेयर लॉक है वो उनके सोल को रीयूनाइट करने में हेल्प कर सकता है, या वो जो सोल्स हैं वो अभी भी यहाँ पे रेस्ट कर रही है. तो ये सारे हिमेरियस मूवमेंट हैं, एग्जैक्टली ऐसा नहीं होता है, ये सिर्फ सुपरस्टिशन और क्राफ्टेड मैजिक या क्राफ्टेड थिंकिंग का असर है. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एक मोकरी भी क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, whoever the lover is वो मोकरी क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं थ्रू these kind of illusions. All right then. So here I have discussed all about our first stanza. Now I am moving towards our next one. So here we have our next stanza. If this fallen time or land where misdevotion doth command, then he that digs us out will bring us to the bishop and the king to make us relics. Then thou shalt be a Mary Magdalene, and I a something else thereby. All women shall adore us, and so man. And since at such time miracles are sought, I would have that age by this paper taught what miracles we harmless lovers wrought. Now what does the speaker says ahead, or what he says, and what does the speaker want to say? The story continues here into the second stanza. The illusion, the imagination is continuing here, where it sets out the possibility for what comes next, where he sets out the possibility कि आगे क्या होने वाला, वो उस चीज़ की पॉसिबिलिटी बताता है कि जब उस ग्रेव डिगर को वो हमारी जो रिमेन्स है, मेरी जो रिमेन्स है उसके साथ वो हेयर लॉक मिलता है, तो उसके बाद क्या होगा. The person who found the speaker's decaying body will bring us to the bishop. अब वो क्या बोलता है, जिस भी ग्रेव डिगर को वो जो बॉडी मिलेगी तो वो हमें किसके पास ले जाएगा, वो या तो बिशप के पास ले जाएगा हमें, या फिर किंग के पास ले जाएगा, ठीक है, और टू द किंग. One of these two will understand the crafted importance behind the find and makes us relics. अब वो बोलता है कि जो दोनों लोग हैं वो किंग या फिर बिशप, उन दोनों वो लोग हमारे इम्पोर्टेंस को, इस क्राफ्टेड इम्पोर्टेंस को समझेंगे और हमें क्या बना देंगे, रालक बना देंगे, एक ऐसा आइडल बना देंगे जिसको लोग आने वाले फ्यूचर में हमें हमारी पूजा करेंगे, ठीक है। ही स्पीक्स टू द लिसनर विद ह्यूमर इन हिज वॉइस, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ह्यूमरस मूवमेंट आता है। And next, what he says, this is not something he longs for, rather, something he wants to make fun of. He sees their position in the eyes of the world being raised to the like of Mary Magdalene. अब वो अपने बिलवर को क्या बोलता है कि जब ऐसा कुछ होगा कि हम रेलिक बन जाएंगे बाय द बिशप एंड द किंग, और सेंट्स एज अ सेंट हम अनाउंस हो जाएंगे, एज अ सेंट लोग हमें देखेंगे, तो तुम क्या बन जाओगी, तुम्हारी पूजा ऐसी होगी जैसे मैरी मैकडोनल की होती है, ठीक है। तो तुम्हें मैरी मैकडोनल के रूप में पूजा जाएगा, और मैं किसी और गॉड या फिर आइडल के जैसे मेरी पूजा होगी। In the last four lines, in the last below lines, all women shall adore us and some man, and since at such time miracles are sought, I would have that age by this paper taught what miracles were harmless lovers wrought. Now, what does he say in these four lines, which are more structured than those which come before them? Speak on how all, so these lines, whatever these lines recites here, mostly women will be devoted to these two new saints, but probably some men too. So men and women both will be occupied in devoting both of us as saints. The lines speak of the future as a time in which miracles are actively sought out. He hopes that with this paper he will have taught the future of the true miracles the lovers wrought. So here you could imagine the imagination or the illusion in what state the lover or the beloved both are. और वो किस तरीके से इमेजिन करता है, इस चीज़ को मॉकिंग भी करता है, फन भी करता है, इस चीज़ पे थोड़ा मजाक भी उड़ाता है, बट फिर भी वो अपनी इमेजिनेशन को कंटिन्यू करता है कि जब किंग और बिशप्स के सामने हमारे इन रैलिक्स को लेके जाया जाएगा, जो रिमेन्स है उनको लेके जाया जाएगा, तो हमें एज अ सेंट अनाउंस कर दिया जाएगा, और जो दोनों लवर और बिलवर्ड, उसको आगे आने वाले जितने भी मैन एंड वुमेन, जितने भी लोग होंगे, वो उनकी पूजा करेंगे, और ये एक मिराकल होगा उन लोगों के लिए, ठीक है। और जो भी वो अभी लिख रहे हैं टुगेदर, उस चीज़ को आगे जाके इन फ्यूचर वो लोग वर्शिप करेंगे। ऑल राइट, सो हियर वी हैव द थर्ड स्टांजा, विच इज़ द लास्ट स्टांजा ऑफ द पोइम, कंटेन द सेम 11 लाइन्स। तो अब देखते हैं इन लाइंस में पॉइंट या फिर लवर की जो इमेजिनेशन है कहाँ तक पहुँचती है, वो क्या और सोचता है, या हम बोल सकते हैं इन आर इंडियन प्रोवर्ब ख्याली पुलाव बनाता है। ऑल राइट, सो फर्स्ट वी लव्ड वेल एंड फेथफुली, yet knew not what we loved nor why. Difference of sex no more we knew than our guardian angels too, coming and going. We perchance might kiss, but not between those meals. Now, what does he say in the last lines? He describes what he sees as being the truly magical parts of his relationship. He and his listener have loved well and faithfully. He and his beloved loved well and faithfully. Their love was transcendent, in that there was no clear reason why they loved one another without even any expectation, without any reason. They loved each other, and their relationship and their love relationship exist. Now, he turned his tone towards the reality. This particular stanza reveals the real feelings of the poet, of the lover towards his beloved. The two operated around one another as simple bodies. Without expecting from each other, they simply roams around each other. There were no difference of sex. There were no difference of sex between them, in fact, as exist within other relationship. So they even didn't give a single thing to sex, even to physical relationship. Even their relationship is just pure. They do not expect each other physically connected. They felt for one another as guardian angels. They felt for one another as guardian angels and feel of their charges, a love without qualification. The next lines reveals that the relationship has not progressed farther than a kiss. He says that their relationship never moves ahead except few kisses. Alright? They come and go around one another and in passing touch. Though they come together, but they just touch each other and they never cross their limits at all. Alright? So they come and go around one another in passing touch. The speaker seems at least slightly annoyed that the relationship has not progressed farther than this. The relationship never moves farther than this. They have not come close enough to touch. They have not come together even to touch each other. Our hands never touch the seals even, which nature, injured by late load, sets free. They never takes advantage of the free nature in even. Although he might wish there was physically more between them, but he appreciates the miracle-like nature of the love they do share. So their real love, the love which exists between both of them, is actually a miracle because they love each other spiritually, not physically. But more than that, it is the woman herself who appears to him as a miracle. She is the miracle for him. Alright? This relates back to his previous statement about the truth of the miracles and the amount of importance one should place on them. Miracles that can be described, such as the hair around his future wrist, is worth nothing in contrast. He is unable to articulate the intensity of the spiritual connection between himself and the lover. This categorizes it as a true miracle. So, जो पहले के जो स्टांजास थे वो दोनों स्टांजास एक इल्यूजन थे कि फ्यूचर में हमारा जो लव होगा, जो हमें हमारी जो आइडेंटिटी होगी इन द आइज ऑफ द पीपल, वो किस तरीके की होगी. लास्ट थर्ड स्टांजा में वो अपने एक्चुअल लव को, विच इज़ एक्चुअली बिटवीन हिम एंड हिज बिलव्ड, वो उस चीज़ को यहाँ पे एक्सप्रेस करता है. तो ये यहाँ पे मिराकल है. एक्चुअली वो अपने लव को एज अ मिराकल ही प्रेजेंट कर रहा है. ऑल राइट दैन. सो this is all about the point, the relic, which is written by John Donne, the metaphysical poem. So आज के लिए काफ़ी है. whatever I have taught today, जो भी मैंने लाइन्स रिसाइट की है, जो भी लाइन बाय लाइन को एक्सप्लेनेशन बताई है, if you have any kind of problem still regarding this particular text of the poem, you can directly comment either or email us upon our email ID, which is given into our description box. And कोई भी आपकी क्वेरी हो, क्वेश्चन हो या कोई भी आपका डाउट हो, आप डायरेक्टली पूछ सकते हैं विदाउट हेजिटेशन. And one more thing, don't forget to subscribe the channel, do like the video, whatever we have been uploading for you, and press the bell icon to get the notification of our each video. Alright then, so thank you so much for attending the lecture at Gargi classes. Thank you.